welcome back to my channel and welcome the newcomers. I hope you like what you see, and if so, be part of this journey by hitting that subscription button. It's free, and hit the bell notification to be notified of the new uploads. I would just like to mention that if the video is a little bit too fast for you, up top there's 3 little buttons. You can click there, slow down the video to the speed you'd like. Also right next to it there's the CC letters for closed caption. You can turn that on and you can read all the stitch that I'm calling down here. By pausing the video, take notes, will make it easier for you. Now normally when I upload the videos, it takes about an hour for YouTube to search all my words that I'm saying, so it can appear on the closed captions. So don't panic if you don't see right away the closed captions, because the video has just been launched. It will show up in about a half an hour to an hour after the upload. I also would like to mention that if you have extra yarn, extra thread, and you'd like to help the women in need, we highly appreciate it and being very, very grateful for it. Thank you for the ones that already have helped and are still helping. If you'd like to donate, right below the video, there's a little bag of $. You can donate whatever amount you'd like. Nobody's asking for millions. Anything helps. It adds up at the end. You can also go into the description box. My PayPal account is there. You can donate through there if you'd like also. Please always give a thumbs up on the video if you like the video. It does help the video to circulate and also to be recognized worldwide. I gratefully appreciate it. Thank you so much. That's one way to help me out and to help to continue to create these beautiful pieces. Also share on your Facebook public. It costs nothing. Everything is free. There's no charge of anything. So please help out to grow the channel. I do have a Facebook group, private group. If you have a profile, you're more than welcome to request to be a member. It's free, of course, and we'll approve you. You must have a profile. Be careful with the links that you go into the groups that says cut and bit. These are fraud scammers that go through your phones, your computers, and take every information of yours. Do not open up those links. There's a lot of hackers in the groups now. That's why I made sure that my group is private. I want to thank every single one of you from the start being with me, and thank you so much for the newcomers. It costs nothing to subscribe, so please do so. Thank you so much, everybody. Everything will be listed always in the description box for every pattern that I create, the sizes, the thread that I use, which is Portugal thread. They're 100% cotton thread, 4-ply, which is similar to Aunt Lydia. Number 3, which number 3 Aunt Lydia is just a little bit thicker than my thread, not by much, but a little bit. I usually use a hook 3 or 3.5, a small one for tucking in loose ends, and a pair of scissors, of course. So thank you, everybody. Any other questions, suggestions, please feel free to comment. You can always get a hold of me if your intentions are to give some thread or yarn away. There's my email below the description box. There's my Facebook page that you can follow also, my Facebook group, my Instagram, my TikTok. So there's so many ways you can message me. Thank you so much, everybody. I hug every single one of you, and much blessings to all of you. Okay, let's get started. Okay, everyone. So today is going to be a complete different tutorial. Normally, you see me always into placemats, rugs, curtains, table runners. We are going to create this beautiful coffee cup with a plate, and very simple, very fast, very economic, so easy. I know that for some of you that are beginners might think, oh my God, that's too complicated. Not at all. Very simple. I'm going to be using the white, of course. I have some leftover whites, so I'm just going to use it. I put it into the Christmas colors with the gold and pearl, so be using pearl, but you can go into the silver or gold beads or white beads. It's up to you. These are 8 millimeters. I'm going to use hook 3. We also need a stitching needle just for the handle at the end. small hook to tuck in loose ends, and of course a pair of scissors. And I'm using the shiny gold. It's beautiful to put in display. Also, what you can do, these are 8mm wide. What you can do is there's those transparent or the white plastic glass cups, you know. You can, it should be the same size as the cup. You can cut it if it's too long, and you can just put it in there. I don't have any with me, but I was putting it to the test with one of my bead cover containers, and if you put it in, of course it's going to show like this, but if taking out the lid and the beads, it will stay nice and firm. Or you can starch it with spray starch. It will stay in position. So we're going to get started. These are 4 plies, same thing as Aunt Lydia, just a little bit thinner, but it would be perfect with Aunt Lydia because it's a harder thread, so it will stay stiff. And this one is like a little bit thicker than number 10 Aunt Lydia. This is some kind of nylon thread, silky nylon thread, so it's a little bit thinner. So we're going to get started, everyone. I hope you're going to enjoy this tutorial. This is a special request, by the way. That's why I did it, because I've been asked a few times and I've just been putting it off. And now finally I decided to do the tutorial on it. I will also be doing the tutorial on the pot, coffee or teapot thing there for the tutorial. So you might stay tuned for that. You can create sets of 4 or 6 and stay tuned for the teapot tutorial. Okay, so let's get started, everyone. Thank you so much for being here, and the newcomers, thank you and welcome. Please give a thumbs up on the video. It's extremely important. Share it on your Facebook public or in your Instagram or whatever social media you have, or through your messenger, for your friends and family. It's very important, and it helps to grow the channel. Thank you so much, everyone, and thank you for the super thanks donation, and also for the women that have reached out to help others with the thread. And if you haven't yet, please do consider, and I thank you in advance. Sending you guys much love, much hugs. Let's get started. So the first thing you want to do is a 6 chain. I know that some of you are going to be excited because you don't have to do the magic circle, because some of you are still having a hard time with the magic circle. So chain 6, not counting the slip stitch, okay? So slip stitch and then 6. So I have 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'm going to come into my first one, and I'm going to close it in with slip stitch. I'm going to do 1, 2, and 3. That is equal to a double crochet inside of this little circle. I'm going to do 17 more double crochet with a chain 3, total of 18 double crochets. Okay, so we are starting to build the body of the cup. Okay, and then once we finish the body, then we're going to go into the plate, and the last thing will be the handle. Okay, so 18 double crochets. We've done the 18 double crochets. I'm going to come into the 3rd chain with a slip stitch. From that 3 chain we went up. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3 chain. In the same space, I'm going to do an increase of another double crochet. Next space, 2 double crochet. This row 2 will be 2 double crochet per space. Okay, so we'll be having a total of 36 double crochet. I'll meet you at the end. I've come to the end. I'm going into the 3rd chain, and I'm going to close it up. I'm going 1, 2, 3. In the same space again, another double crochet. next space, 1 double crochet alone, next space, another double crochet alone, next space, 2 together, next space, 1 alone, next space, 1 alone, next space, 2 together. We're going to repeat this all the way around. When you get to the end, you're supposed to have 2 alone. Okay, so row 3, 2 double crochet in the same space, 1 double crochet alone, 1 double crochet alone, and then 2 together. I'll meet you at the end. Okay, so we finished row 3, and row 3 we have 48 double crochets. Now we're going to work groups of 4 double crochets, and we're going to use only back loops only. So I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, next space, back loop, next space, back loops. I have 3 double crochets already, next space, back loop only. So we're not using the front space because that's to work on the plate afterwards. Okay, chain 2. We're going to skip 1, 2 on your third one, back space. So this row will be only creating groups of 4 using back loops only. Okay, groups of 4 double crochet, chain 2, skip 1, 2 on your third one, back loop only, next space, back loop, next space, back loop, and the following space, back loop. So row 4, so we're forming the body of the cup already. Okay, so we're going to continue, and you should have 12 groups at the end. I'll meet you at the end. So I've come to the end, as you can see, 1, 2, and on the third one, this is where we started the 3 chain. So chain 2, I'm going to come in my third space here, and I'm going to close it in nice and tight with a slip stitch. I'm going to do the walk, I call it the walk, with the slip stitch to the center of the square here. Single, chain 2. I'm going to continue to create the 4 groups inside of the space here. So single 2 chain would equal double crochet plus 3 more. Chain 2 into the next space. So row 5 is just creating those groups again. We are going to do 5 rows the same way. So when you get to the end with the slip stitch, you have to do the walk with the slip stitch into the center of the square and create your 4 groups exactly like we have here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 groups. Okay, the last group, I'll come back to you on it. Okay, so just continue to do your 4 groups inside of the spaces. So you need 2 chain space and into the space and continue your 4 double crochet group. And I'll meet you at the end of row 5. So you have to have 5 rows the same way. When you get here, you close with slip stitch, do the walk with slip stitch, and create your group again. I'll meet you at the end of row 5. And I'm saying row 5 on this. Okay, so we need 5 rows like this. I'm not including this anymore. I'm just considering from here on. Row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4, and row 5. Not counting the centerpiece. I left that out already. Okay. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm on my 5th one. I'm going to come in and close it with a slip stitch. Okay, so as you can see, pretty much form the little cup already. How easy was that, right? Okay, I'm going to come into the center between the 4 double crochets here with a single, okay? And I'm coming directly into the square space here and doing 6 double crochet. So I have 3, 4, 5, 6 double crochets. I'm going to come directly in the center here, not on the space, in the center between the two, which I should have mentioned that already to begin with, but no biggie. I mean, we really didn't make a big mistake, did we? No, actually I went right in the center. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 double crochets. I'm coming directly in between the 2 double crochets here in the center and doing a single. We're going to repeat this way all the way around, and then I'll come back to you. Actually, you're going to cut your thread after you're done your single or attachment slip stitch here on the single, and then we're going to proceed with the plate. So I've done my last 6. I'm going to come in where I have my single, and I'm going to slip stitch. I'm cutting my thread, and I'm going to tuck it in from the inside. I'm going to bring it down to where I have all these stitches here of the double crochets, and just tuck in between them. And like this, we're sure that nothing is going to come apart. So we have our cup built already. Of course, it looks out of shape, poor thing, right? Now, we're going to go work on the plate. So you will have to turn your cup this way. We are going to work on the outside. You remember that chain we left behind? We're going to work on that chain that we left behind from the beginning. Okay. Okay, so it doesn't really matter where you want to start. So we have always that 3 chain. I'm going to start by there, but you can start anywhere as long as we start where there's a space, okay? So I'm going to come in back loop only. Okay, make sure you grab back loops only. And I know always the first one is always the hardest to get in because my stitch is always so tight. So I'm going to do a single, try to hide my thread here, and chain 2. Next space, back loops only. We're going to create those groups of 4 again, using the back loops. And this is the 4th double crochet. We're going to do 2 chain. We're going to continue to create back loops, but we're not skipping anything down here. We're creating the plate, okay? We're only doing a 2 chain space in between the groups, using back loops only, and make sure that you're faced properly with your cup. Okay, make sure that you're not stitching it this way. You have to stitch it this way. Chain 2, next space, back loops only. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so it's going to look like that. And chain 2 again, next space. Okay, so continue to create your 4 group or 4 double crochet group and 2 chain space between them. I'll meet you at the end. So I've reached the end. I'm going to come in my 3rd chain after I've done my 2 chain with a slip stitch. I'm going to come back into the center between the 2 double crochets. We're going to repeat here exactly what we did here on the last row. So single and 6 double crochets. So very simple, right? And your cup will be done, and then we have the handle. 4, 5, and 6. I'm going to come in between the two groups again of the double crochets. We have the 4 double crochets, so 6 double crochets in the space of the square, the empty square, or the empty box, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so we have 6 coming in between again and doing my single. Okay, so we're going to do that all the way to the end. Coming here, we're going to close in with a slip stitch. We're going to cut our thread. Okay, and then we're going to come in with the gold. Now, you can use whatever colors you want, red with golds, with greens. It's up to you. You know, blue, yellow, whatever your favorite colors are, or whatever you're decorating, or even giving as gifts if you know what's the person's favorite color. This makes beautiful gifts for Christmas, people. Just remember that. Or if you're selling also, okay? Okay, everyone, so I'm on my last double crochet from the group of 6. I come into where the single is, and I'm going to tidy in my leftover thread because I don't like to leave anything for the end. Some people do. I mean, good for you, but I don't. I just, you know, I like to finish it and don't bother to come back to it. Get it over and done with. I mean, it takes a few seconds to just get it out of the way. I know it does too at the end, but the end is like, to me, it's, you know, I'm done with that pattern. I don't want to bother with it anymore. So we have the body done. We have the plate done. Now we're going to go in with the gold one. First I was thinking about maybe red, you know, but I said, you know what, gold, I think it's going to give that beautiful charm to it. Okay, so I'm going to come in with my 3 hook size because I think it will be easier for me to work on, okay? So I'm coming in the first double crochet here. I'm going to do a single, and I'm going to try to hide my thread. I like to always leave a little bit longer to hide it so nothing comes apart. We're going to do singles, 1 per space. So you have 6 double crochets. We have 6 singles to do. Okay. So pretty much tucking in. Now when you get to the single here, we must come in between like we did with the single with the white, so we can have that beautiful little effect, and then come back again to the double crochets and do a single, 1 per space. Very simple, right? And we'll be doing the same thing down here, exactly as we're doing here. We'll be doing it down here also. Okay, back in again to where we have our single. Stretch your thread and bring it up. Okay. Now, once we finish this, we cut our thread. We're going to tuck in loose ends for whoever does it right away. If not, then I guess you'll do it at the end. Coming in. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end. So I've just closed in, and I'm going to bring it in. And give it a knot. Especially with this thread, because it's like a nylon, so this, I mean, it has a tendency to really open up, right? going to burn it a bit, the edge here, because I want to make sure that it's not going to open up. But of course, you don't have to do that. You can just cut it, and if you have glue, you can just glue it, which I'll most probably be doing it anyway. I'll put a little tip of glue on there just to make sure. Okay, so now on to the bottom. We're going to do in the bottom exactly the same thing as we just did up top. I like to leave a little bit of string so I can hide it at the end. I'm going to come anywhere for that matter. It doesn't matter where you start. Single, single. Trying to hide my little thread here, just to make sure that nothing comes apart. I'm going to come in between, so no different than what we just did. And then single in all of them. And then once we're done with this, we can cut our thread. We're going to do the handle. See how fast and easy this was? Peanuts, right? And so gorgeous. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end. We're going to do the handle now. So I'm going to slip stitch. By the way, for the little daisy flower, I will leave the link below if you want to create this flower. You can create any little flower you'd like. It doesn't matter which place you're going to start, but you got to make sure that you start like in one of these 4 groups here at the bottom. Okay, so I'm just going to grab any of them, as long as you grab where the 4 groups are. And I'm going to come in on top of the double crochet from the group and do a single. Change my thread here, my hook I should say. We're going to do groups again of 4. Try to hide my thread here. So single, chain 2 into the next double crochet of that group, double crochet into the next one. So we'll have 4 double crochets exactly like the groups, and we'll be working back and forth on it for the handle. And into my last double crochet, we're going to turn around 1, 2, and 3. We're going to do 8 rows of the groups back and forth. So I'm on my 2nd row already. 4 double crochets. We're going to turn around again, 1, 2, and 3, and into the next space, and next space again. Once I'm done my 8th row, so we're not counting the bottom one here, we're counting the ones we did. So I have 3. I'm going to do 8 and then I'll come back to you. So I've done my 8 double groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. I'm going to cut my thread, but I'm going to cut it a little bit longer so I can stitch my handle into the cup. Okay, so I'm just gonna put it through my needle here. Now, of course, you can see it that it's lined up right over here, and we're going to stitch it right underneath like that. Okay, so we're going to turn it a bit. Okay, I know it looks funny this way, but it is what it is, right? So we're going to just right underneath it like that here, but we're going to stitch it like this. Okay, so we're going to put it, it's kind of hard for you guys to see, but we're just going to put it like that. So I'm just going to come in and we're just going to do the back and forth and make sure that it's well leveled up. And you can see it by here on the other side. So I'm trying to get you guys to see what I'm doing here. So just gonna stitch back and forth on it. So it doesn't move. Okay, so it's pretty much stitched there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch it from here now. Okay, just to make sure that everything stays in place. Get your corners in properly and make a knot into it by going back with your needle in it, okay? And then just pretty much that should be done. Just gonna do one more knot here at this edge. And then just pass my thread through it and then cut it off. And we're good to go. So our little handle is pretty much sewn into the cup. I'm going to heat up my hot gun glue. And I'm going to put in the same direction. So here I have from the handle 1, 2 on my third one. So 1, 2 on my third one. Let me just make sure that I have this properly. 1, 2. So I'll be putting it like 1 and 2. Yeah, I'll be putting it like right there. And I'm going to glue it on here with the hot gun. Okay. So I'm pretty much, oops, almost knocked my camera down. Pretty much put a little bit of glue on that 4 group right here. And that's 1, 2 on your third one from the handle. Okay. And then you don't need much of this glue. My poor gun is so old and so rusted already. Just a little bit so the flower can stay tacked into the pattern here. Doesn't take much. So I'll leave the link to the daisy flower. Now there's 6 petals on this one. I have 5. Don't know why, just like that. I guess I must have not done my 12 singles at the beginning. Doesn't make any difference anyway. So you can do it with 6 petals or with 5 petals. So I'm just going to glue this on here like that, and we're good to go. Compress a bit so it can grab properly the thread. I'm also gonna, where my thread finished it here that I had burnt, put a little bit of that transparent glue, not much because we don't want the pattern to be full of glue. So I'm just putting at the edge of the petals here. And there you have it. Now, you can have plastic, you know, those plastic coffee pots that we buy, the coffee jars, or the small ones, or spice, those little Italian spaghetti spice jars, the small ones, you know, the small square, not square, round ones, what I'm talking about. Anything that's plastic and small that fits right into here, or plastic cup, white or transparent. You don't want a different color, or else it's going to come out through here. Like, example, I have a roll here of the thread. See, this is a perfect fit, but you can see right through it, and that's not pretty, right? So if it's white or transparent, it will be perfect. Anyway, my dear friends, stay tuned for the teapot tutorial that will be coming up next. Thank you so much again. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. It was very easy and fast and no stress, right? And much hugs to every single one of you. Please don't forget to give a thumbs up on the video and share the video. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye-bye until next time.